Hi guys, this is Lashette from Scarlet Moon Creations, and I am back with a new video, a tarot tag that I was super excited for when I saw it go up, Garden Arcana. So I am here in the Foodway in Concrete Plant Park here in New York City, the only edible food forest publicly available, publicly accessible in New York City. The first of its kind. Hopefully there will be many more. So this tag created by Andy, Soul and Soil and Garden Goddess Tarot, I believe, created this tag about finding the tarot in the world around you, specifically in this tag, your garden. Now, I live in New York City. I do not have my own garden space. I quite honestly don't even have very many houseplants, so I can do that in that sense. Though I would encourage people, if you do have houseplants, then go ahead and join and do this tag because that would be cool. I do, however, have this very public space called the Foodway at Concrete Plant Park. As I said, it's an edible food forest. We try to plant native plants and we publicly take care of it, mostly volunteers, but it is kind of led or supported by the Bronx River Alliance. I'll put links in the description to everything. But this is somewhere I like to come because I do like gardening. I like plants and learning about them and including them in my personal practices, health and wellness, but also for my Etsy shop, Scarlet Moon Creation, I would like to forage things locally. And so for the past 3, maybe 4 years, yes, including the pandemic, I have been volunteering here, and I thought it would be really cool to utilize this space to do a VR to the tag, because it's not my personal garden. I volunteer here. Everyone can publicly use and take from it. We have fruits, berries, like I said, a lot of native plants. We try to have pollinators for bees and butterflies and things like that. And it's not strict, it's not super regimented, and people can come in here and plant what they want. People have planted corn and gourds. Not sure if they're pumpkins or something else, but gourds of some kind. And you can forage here. We do not use pesticides, so you don't have to worry about that. So that was a very lengthy intro, but I just wanted to give an explanation. So this tag is about finding the, I guess, major arcana, though maybe I'll go beyond that, for finding symbols or the feel of the card in your garden. This is my garden, and that's what I'm going to do. I've brought some examples of cards that I think. I was speaking to Nathan, who we were out here stewarding, planting some beach plums earlier, and I was telling him what I was going to do after we were done, if I had the energy, which I do, obviously. And he was like, oh, it would be really cool if you just pull a card and look for that specific card. I'm like, so I might do that next time. But I did kind of plan ahead and bring the first 4 major arcana. I don't know if they'll all be in this one first video, but let's go looking. FYI, there's public train, Amtrak, and not a highway, but an expressway, I guess, right next door. We live in a city. Also, the other border is the Bronx River. I'll show you that later. But I love coming here just to be. The park itself is nice. It's a former concrete plant, and they made it a public park, and we've had the Foodway here for about 60 years. So there might be ambient noises. So these are the decks I brought out here with me. The Herb Crafter's Tarot, Llewellyn, Deviant Moon, two of which I've had the longest. The Lightseers, Spirit Keeper's Tarot, and the Universal Goddess Tarot. When I think about cards that give me that like garden, earth, mother, growing things, energy, the Herb Crafters and the Llewellyn are the ones that I think of. The others I wanted for a different feel. The Deviant Moon, to see if maybe I could see the darker side, the shadow aspects within the garden. And then the Lightseers for a more esoteric, what do you call it? Pagan, occult, new age type. The Spirit Keepers to get, again, that spiritual occult, but a little more old school occult, and a little more organized religion, spirituality type feel, if I can find it. And then the Universal Goddess Tarot, though I don't necessarily agree with the goddesses they chose, I know why I feel like most of the cards, I understand why they chose them, and maybe I can find that kind of garden energy, goddess energy. I have not brought the traditional RWS because I don't really use that, and I can remember. The same with the Thoth. I didn't bring that because for the most part I feel like the Spirit Keeper's Tarot is more my speed and more what has aspects of Thoth in it, and I can find those. So I guess we'll start with the Fool, which is what I'm showing you here. So for the Fool card, I think the beginning of the path is a good representation. And there are many paths, but also like starting out with gardening at the entrance, you get that initial start of your journey as a forager, especially here in the city. Like, just come, take the plunge, and find your way. There are also a lot of beginner plants, like the dandelion here, but also chives and mugwort. The Herb Crafter's Tarot, it tells you like you can make seeds or take in the seed of the dandelion. Just start when you're gonna start a new journey. One of these guys. Or make a dandelion vinegar for when you need to be brave, do something new outside your comfort zone. And I think that definitely applies here. I guess for a shadow aspect would be going into the unknown. Any of these plants you won't know. Especially native. A lot of foraging guides and websites and things don't talk about native. They talk about what's popular. And also, not all native plants are fun. Let me show you some not fun plants. Back to a multiple path like look. I like this circle here. There's another path entrance there, or you can come in from the southern path on the garden back there. There's another path you can enter through. Doesn't have to be one way all the time. Here we go. We've been weeding, but here's a place. There's lots of plants that are not necessarily bad for you, but not that great for you. Like, for example, sticky weed. Again, not bad for you, but I did injure myself last time. I wasn't wearing gloves, and I got both of my hands got kind of a rash on them because of that. These guys. So jumping in without knowledge or spontaneously can backfire. We also do get sometimes poison ivy. It's a thing, so we try to be careful. That's the kind of jumping off the cliff's edge or jumping in without thinking. And over here, this is not part of the Foodway, the edible food forest, but the park, concrete plant park. And there's a bit of a cliff here to the Bronx River. And sometimes people do go out here. So that kind of falling over the edge without thought you can do. It's not a steep dive, but it's there. Keeping it real, I feel like a fool here. But now the magician, I guess. And starting off, I want to talk about a specific plant. The Herb Crafter's Tarot talks about the sunflower, not really something we grow here, but we have a lot of plants that you can use medicinally or for skincare, internally, for food. And one of these is my favorite, the elder, which is here. We have several elder trees or bushes, depending on how you see them. But these guys, it's early, or it's late spring, I should say. So the roots, the branches, the leaves are poisonous to us human beings. But the berries and the flowers, which are just starting to come in, are not. They're very medicinal. You can use them for fevers and to flavor your teas and foods. The flowers, the berries can also be used in incense and oil blends. Here we go. There's some flowers starting to come in. And so many purposes. There's kind of that as above, so below energy throughout the garden, just because we garden, we create here this edible food forest. We plant the working with the earth and the sun. Where is she? Okay, directly above here. The air, other than the river over there, our other water access is a pipe under the ground. I'll show you. We use hoses to sprinkle water everywhere. I feel like that's, all the elements, all of the tools. The power can go to your head. People, myself included, do kind of get a little possessive and wanting to tell people how to do things. But you can. I also quite often come here to just charge my cards in the earth. I just put them down on the ground, a deck, whatever deck I plan on working with, and let them soak up that earth energy, the air, the sun. Doing rituals here would be nice. That's something I'm talking about with other people that are volunteers and what we might want to do. I leave offerings and offer my energy back to the earth for what I take to help me. This is the hardest one. Because I feel like just working in the Foodway is that reciprocal Lemnis Gate energy, as above, so below. What do you think? Some other aspects or ways the magician shows up. That's a boat launch over there. I was gonna go there, but there's some guys having lunch. I don't want to disturb them. But yeah, another place where the earth, the air, the fire, the sun, though it's behind clouds now, and the water meet, that kind of liminal space, which is a place I sometimes like to go to do rituals. Nothing really elaborate, but nice as well. And look at the geese and the goslings in the back. Okay, so I mugwort, the High Priestess. When I got this, the Herb Crafter's Tarot, and I saw mugwort for the High Priestess, I was like, yes. And this guy grows everywhere, so annoyingly. It's just really prolific, and we're constantly weeding it out. Most people consider it a weed. There is not enough mugwort use here for me to use by myself or any of us, really. So what I've used it for is incense making, mugwort wands, and we've done events here where we've shown people how to make those. Instead of like sage bundles, mugwort bundles, and you burn them. I've definitely used the mugwort here for tea, for lucid dreamings, for tarot readings, for relaxing, really, and mugwort teas and infused oils for my monthly cycles, menses, aunt flow, the period. So many uses everywhere. We can't get rid of it fast enough. And that's okay. But beyond that aspect, the High Priestess, that kind of unknown, the unconscious or the subconscious, the spiritual work, there's a lot of gateways I feel here in the park. Let me show you, because of trees. So we've got these, which is very nice. And these two guys up here, these are apple trees. As I try to progress through the mugwort up to them. They're not blooming right now, but I do come and sit in this space often. Here, between two more trees, these are cherry trees. And yeah, when it's like this, overgrown with mugwort and cleavers, I kind of picture this particular card that just being so one with nature. That meme where it's like, nature is my church. Like, the trees become the pillars, and it's a little gateway to be. To charge my cards, to meditate, to connect with goddess energy, even with earth energy, the moon. There have been homeless people that have made their homes in between the plants, protected by the mugwort and the very bushy leaves of the elder. So this is 2 more elder, I think, or maybe 3 because it's growing out. Also, I want to talk about the violet, just because it's associated with water and the moon, and it's very moisturizing for the skin, so I do forage this. And here's some more mugwort. You can't escape. This, it's May now, so the blooms are gone for the most part. They might be, yeah, they're gone. I don't see any underneath the, by discovering the Foodway and starting to volunteer at the Foodway. So that's a, I guess, more personal aspect for me in that. Okay, so this one might be a cheat. For the Empress, we have the rose, or honestly, just having the Herb Crafter's Tarot might be cheap or making it easy for me. But here we have rose bushes. These are wild roses, not currently in bloom. Their thorns are definitely there though. So the Empress is associated with roses. So we definitely have a whole bunch of rose bushes here. Another favorite Empress of mine. That nurturing aspect, I think, really ties into being a volunteer here and wanting to grow things in general, because I do not have kids. I have no significant other currently, and no plans to have kids soon because of that. I'm not against having children though. Oh yeah, so roses, that earthly nurturing energy. I think also the various fruit trees, as they're coming in, these are the babies of the peaches. The seeds of the cherries. So yeah, like I said, it's May. They're still coming in. That's what I associate with that goddess energy, that growing things. The flowers have mostly done blooming around here, so there's not much to show you. But yeah, I think anything that's pretty and colorful is probably going to be very Venusian. I can insert some pictures from like a couple of weeks ago. Oh, the chives are now popping up to show their blooms. So we have raspberries as well, which I do believe are also associated with Venus, and that Earth Mother Goddess energy. So those are red raspberries. These are the white raspberries here. The fertility aspect definitely comes in with the butterflies and bees everywhere. So can I grab you? Sorry for disturbing you, Mr. Bumble. Oh yeah, he's checking out the flowers, or the raspberry, where the berries will eventually grow. And soon, strawberries will show in a couple of months. But those are here. Oh yes, we still have strawberry flowers. And if a butterfly or bee is around, white chives. There's more bees here checking out the sage flowers. Doing their thing. Oops, oh, I disturbed all of those birds. Chilling, eating, hanging out. These guys are the bachelor buttons. I forget the more well-known name or less well-known name. But pretty, pretty, pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Pollinators. There's some more trees. Giving birth to their seeds. This is the pollinator section. We've got milkweed growing, so that will be a plant to the bees and the butterflies. They will gravitate towards these guys like crazy. Or mugwort, because it's everywhere. It's within us all. Oh, there's a ladybug. Oh, she flew away. Sorry, my dear. Didn't mean to disturb you. Oops, these birds are so annoyed with me because they keep flying away every time I pass by. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to end this video here. I don't know how long it is, but this was fun. I don't know that the next installment of this will be me talking about the next card in order, because Nathan suggested, like, pick a card. But I do want to do all of the major arcana, which I think is the main point of this tag. But I'm not against doing the other cards. I just know they will not happen probably all within this year. But it will still be fun to see. I'll leave you guys watching the birds flip back and forth as I do my outro. Guys, like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you are new. Hit the notification bell so you know the next time I have a video coming out. The links in the description to everything I mentioned here, including the Foodway if you are here in New York City, if you're visiting New York City and want to come check it out. Concrete Plant Park, edible food forest. Oh, the chestnut is also flowering. What was I gonna say? Oh yes, links on my social media accounts if you like to follow me anywhere else, Instagram and Twitter. There's also a 10% off discount code for my Etsy shop where I make all natural bath and body products, some of which I use the things I forage here in the Foodway, and I offer readings with tarot and oracle cards. Some of those decks I've shown you. And you get that 10% off discount code Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far and would like to support, don't know what to put, you can leave me a little plant emoji, whether it be a flower or otherwise leaf, whatever have you. If you don't know what to comment, you can leave that as your comment. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.